Hey everybody, this is Grace, and pardon that you're looking at the very blue sky, but yeah, I wasn't going to go anywhere and do this video. Just wanted to get out of the house. Beautiful day. My SUV says it's 55 degrees. It's chilly. Yeah, just walking from the house into my SUV was definitely chilly. Okay, to get to it, in this video, I'm going to talk about something, I have noticed, especially more and more recently, that many people, not everybody, it's nothing new. They love a good mystery. And it just does not matter what it is on, sometimes, to some people, as long as it's something they can figure out. They can be the one who tells who done it, who figures out who done it. That kind of thing, one of those whodunits. But, or it's not even something, it's not even about something harsh. It's just about, who is the mystery person? Who is the person that person is leaving out? And it can be something really simple, something petty, something, however you want to label it. Or just something that really aggravates a person. Yeah, and why, who is the one that's being the aggravating person? Like that. Okay, now I can tell you, one of the ones that I've had in my life is, and people, they wonder about too, I don't say a person's name. Like, if there's somebody who's doing something wrong, I generally don't tell who it is. And that's not to bring about a mystery. It's just that I don't do that. It's like malicious gossip, even though it's truth. So this person does this behavior. I don't say who it is. I just point out the behaviors. And for me, like I've said before, making these videos is more of a pressure release valve. I'm venting, stuff that goes on in my life or that I've seen, or it could even be something I've seen somebody else go through. And just venting about it, pointing out, saying this is what some people do, red flags, all that. Okay, you don't see it, but I keep stopping and starting. But anyway, the thing that's going on in my life again, and this happens to me in my life. It's happened to me since I was a child. It is when people are copycats. They cannot find anything interesting about themselves, seriously. So they steal it from other people. And it's not always just me. Okay, it's not always me that they copycat. I could be one of a few. Because a copycat is out searching, in my view. They're out searching for something to try to make themselves look interesting when they're not interesting people. And the people I've found that are like this are the ones who are the histrionics. I'm not talking about diagnosing them, but the behaviors of histrionic personality disorder. I think a lot of people don't know that that's a personality disorder. The mean girls, mean boys, this is how I categorize them. The attention sluts. I always put them as attention sluts. They have to be the center of attention. They don't care if it's negative attention, positive attention. It doesn't matter. They're getting attention. They just call the ones that dislike them as haters and be done with it, in their minds at least, and often the minds of those who just follow them. The wannabes. They want to be that. They want to be the queen bee. This kind of thing. And, the ones that dress so, when they're younger at least. Some of them when they're older, but, especially when they're younger, dress very provocatively. And it's not just females. So, this type, very loud, very obnoxious, must be the center of attention, like I've already said. They have to be. They will make, if somebody could have a tragedy in their life, they'll let that person have a few minutes of, being the center of attention and other people going, oh, But they're going to turn it back around. They're going to turn it back around because they can't have anybody else having that attention. Not for long. You know, or they'll make the situation about them. You know, they'll start crying. And, oh, I can't stop crying. Oh, you know, so other people say, oh, it's okay, come on. You know, we'll go to them and offer them that attention. Whatever they do, they need to be center of attention. Yeah, and so that's what I'm doing. They're very boring people. My experience and what I've seen, my experience and what I have seen since I was a child, since I was born. I was born into this kind of thing. Seeing other people. Oh my goodness, you would not believe. The drama queens, the drama kings. Oh man. You know, so I'm like the opposite. The total opposite. I don't really, some people say, well, you're not showing that by having YouTube channels. You know, like I say, I'm using it to vent. Boy, do I ever. But, anyway, they will steal, like I said, steal other people's ideas. Still even things that are, you know, they copycat, but still things that are unique to that person. And some people do have unique things about them. You know, some say that people who are searching for something that's unique about them are narcissistic. Well, some people have that. They don't. I have a rare health condition. And believe me, 25 years, it'll be 25 years this July or August, when it was first found through imaging. Yeah, 25 years. The very first specialist I was sent to, there's two kinds of specialists. I don't want to mention what it is and all that, but I had in the past, but two different types. And the first one I was sent to, she threw a temper tantrum. And it has been rather consistent since, because it's a rare health condition and they have to use their brains. They just can't renew prescriptions. Okay, seriously. It is that rare. And they don't want to. They have to spend time. They have to study up. They have to learn something. Yeah, believe me, I have seen some temper tantrums like you would not believe in these so-called professionals, you know. So anyway, but something like that, people steal something that you've been through, and it's a hardship. It's going through life not being like everybody else. You know, like health conditions that other people have, they might not affect me in the same way, and vice versa. Okay, I don't have a stereotype, basically. You know, just this is the norm. For me, it's not the norm. You know, what I can see in other people, this is the norm. If somebody gets this, that, and the other, you know, if they get this kind of whatever, then what's going to usually happen is it follows down this line, and then, you know, they get better or whatever. That doesn't work for me. I can't look at that and say, hey, I have that same XYZ, and it's not going to work the same. Chances are, no. You know, like my most recent thing was that of experiencing hypothermia, being inside of my house that was with the heater on several times in a row. You know, that was I looked it up. That was in the end of December, early January. Yeah. I hope I got that right, because I had to write. The only way I could tell was I went to the dentist one of those times, and I wrote it down in my daily planner. I bought just for doctor's appointments and such. Just for, I usually had 3 already every year for other things. So I bought a 4th one so I wouldn't clutter the other ones with the doctor's appointments and such. So I wrote down that I saw that dentist was in the end of December. For some reason, it feels like it was the end of January. So, in the beginning of this month, maybe I did write it down wrong. Like I said, put it on the wrong month. Anyway, boy, I'm just kind of going on, but a good mystery. Let's get back to this thing. You know, like I said, my mystery now, the thing is, like I said, consistent, is somebody stealing something that is unique to me, not the health condition. You know, not that. See, they would be too stupid to know. I'm sorry. I was raised not to call anybody stupid too. So, but I stuck to it pretty much most of my life. 61 years. But these people are not that smart. Really, they are not. They are not very creative. You know, they may be creative in something like drawing or, you know, something along this line. You know, something that they can follow the dots, something that they can copycat. You heard me right. You know, they might be, you know, that kind of creative, which is not really creative. If you're having to use a pattern or something like that, you don't invent something to add to it, or, you know, just do something of your own. But these people, they don't know. They just don't. Period. They cannot come up with their own idea for anything. They got to steal somebody's. And they try to steal that person's thunder. It doesn't matter. And the last time, to get to this, finally, the last time I had this problem that I knew of, okay, I did not know of it, but it was online. Now, I started making videos on YouTube 10 years ago. That's T-E-N. I said 10 recently in a video, and it did not sound like 10. But no, it's 10. August was 10 years. August of this past year. And when I first started, you know, I'm new to it. I'm not new to the internet. I had my first computer in 1982. So 1982. So yeah, I've had pretty much always mainly since 1990, I've always had a computer, always, since 1990, and before then too. Like I said, first was 1982, but not always. Anyway, so I've been online quite a bit. I've seen a lot. You know, social media, I was one of the pioneer women. Yeah, I've seen a lot of what people will do, and just to get attention. And this is nothing new, but in a way it was, because it was making videos. And, you know, in everything, a person is green when they first start, unless they've sat there and studied it before they start. Still, there's some things to learn, things that happen behind closed doors, behind the scenes. And when I started making videos, and I found out that, man, these people, they will just steal ideas. Just steal them right there, right from underneath you. You make a statement about something, boom, they're going to take it. And make it about themselves. They're always theirs. You know, I wasn't naive to this world at all. But just seeing that, and what it was the most is the fact that they could so easily get caught. I mean, very easily. All a person has to say is, look at the date I published my video, and look at the date they published theirs. Voila, there it is. There it is, right there. And they say this consistently, and they're going, yeah, that's shame on that person. And some people, they will go after people like that. I mean, you know, I'm not talking anything illegal, nothing illegal, but they'll jump on them, you know, verbally. You know, what is this? You know, and run them out of town verbally. You know what I'm saying? You know, but anyway, they'll out them for what they are, and for exactly what they are. Copycats. You know, people, they're thieves. People who steal other people's ideas are thieves. Okay, that's the mentality. So, back then, it happened to me like right off the bat, man. This woman is still online. The last time I checked was recently. I went through wondering if some of these people were still making videos, people I knew 10 years ago. And yeah, many of them were. Some of them weren't. I don't remember their their channel names or anything like that. But, or I can't find them. Don't remember the channel names, like I said, sometimes. But this one, the first one, she is, and I wonder who she's cheating off of this time. You know, there was another one, but it was all just such a game for them. Bunch of histrionic behavior, you know. And it turned me off. Really did to that. And I know better than to let stuff like that bother me, but it really wasn't worth it to me. I had bigger fish to fry. But then around the same time, there was this one woman. She's my age. I think she still makes videos. But she went around telling people who were like following her and looking up to her as she was somebody and all that. And she got instant karma because she told them, she said, find somebody who has an interesting topics and steal their topic and make one of your own. She told people this. The woman had no scruples all around. She really didn't. And she instant karma because, you know, you can figure that one out, right? They were just using her. That's it. And she was popular for back then. I don't think she would be considered popular now. But they were just using her to, some would call it clout or something. And so they started stealing from, yeah, she pointed them in my direction. Because I did quite often come up with some interesting topics. And, but no, she got the instant karma because she got to realize that they were doing it to her. You know, what do you expect, woman? But do you know that there are innocent people like me? I had nothing to do with them. And one of the things I noticed back then was, when I started to notice it, I wrote to one of them. She was younger. I was old enough to be her mother. And I was old enough to be her mother. Or that's not the right way to put it. She put it as, I could be her mother's age. Okay. And all she could do is just kind of chuckle, you know, in her comments, laugh, you know. And just the things she was saying in her comment back to me was, when I, you know, pointed something out, was basically, it seemed like nervous laughter and a nervous response because she was caught in the act, flat out, by me. You know, it had to be embarrassing for her. But some people, they have no scruples, so it doesn't matter to them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and then overall, it was. You see this kind of thing for, you know, for a while. And then there were two people at the same time, one male, one female. And that went, I think, started around 2018 and ended sometime during 2020 because I got more vocal and I told them on video, not saying their names still, that I was going to out them. And I gave other people ways to check to see who I'm talking about. You know, the people who like a good mystery. You know, I didn't tell them their name, their channel name, nothing like that. You know, but they could figure it out, like I said. Just check the dates. Just check the dates. And when was this video published? And when do they publish theirs? Consistently. Because when they find somebody, they can use and they can get all their attention they want, and that makes them look smart. One of my tricks so bad. It was so funny. The she of those two, tried to put it off as though she knew what she was talking about and something. And she's on the other side of the fence on things. I'm on no side of the fence. I'm independent. I don't need anybody to tell me how to think. But she did. You know, so I started talking about something that would be totally against the way her viewers wanted to things they wanted to think about. Totally against it. You know, she wouldn't know it because she's not that smart. She just steals ideas. You see? So she started talking about these things, copycatting from me, her viewers couldn't stand it. Man, she lost, from what I understand, she lost viewers, and people come up against her, and she had to change her ways, because, she's one of those sheeples, and, I don't like to call people, no, strike that. Strike the term. Because, I don't dehumanize people, although sheeple is something that people have said for many years. To define people who just follow, Anyway, but the people that were watching her did not appreciate it. And that's what she deserved. And that person, she was doing it to a lot of people. And I just recently, how sometimes a video from people you don't even know gets recommended. And I don't watch her. I had stopped watching her way back then. And I really, really, it was, what is she going to do next? But she was stealing ideas from a lot of people. Some of them I watched. Well, anyway, recently one of those video was recommended to me. I'd say it was about a year ago, not too recent, and it was all about two women just bad-mouthing her and pointing out how much she's she steals other people's ideas. She stole their identities. She stole a story that I told about myself that was, it was my story. She stole it and used it for herself. How low can you go? She could go pretty low, believe me, and she's still there. The last I checked, like I said, I went through that thing of checking people, and that I used to watch. She's still there. She's lower than ever. She, that's who she is. That's what she is. Plain and simple. Anyway, this is a really long thing. Okay, to prove that it's the sky, I put the top of a tree in there. But anyway, had to look to see how many minutes it's about. It's not too long yet. But anyway, the reason I'm doing all this background and stuff, there's a lot more, is, like I said, something original about a person. And I'm not talking about my rare health condition, but, overall it could be something that is due to it, as it is, something that's due to it. So many things about me can be due to my, rare health condition, especially the older I get. But I'm not going to name what it is. But I said this about myself. Oh, I've said it several times, I believe. Well, I'm pretty sure. And over, I don't know how many years. But, it's something that, a person, if they watch me on a regular basis or something, they would know. They would remember that kind of that. And I don't know that anybody watches anybody anymore on a regular basis. Not for too long. If they're more than a few seconds long. That's been going on for years now. Really. I think you can get, like me, find somebody something about them that makes me curious about it. Like I said, mystery. Anyway, some kind of a mystery. And then, that I try to figure out. And then I'll watch them. And whenever I get a chance, the problem is I usually fall asleep. Once a voice becomes familiar to me and I'm watching it, next thing I know, I'm asleep. Like if I'm lying on my bed watching it, that kind of thing. But not any other way. But anyway, that happens. And I think a lot of people, like I usually get stuck on series. I was never one to watch TV when I was younger. Not very much. I mean, I had a TV. I've watched it every blue moon. But I wasn't one to really follow, the whole thing of waiting a week or two or however many to see the next episode really bothered me. And I didn't care for it. I didn't want to be somewhere right there at that time to watch that. And all those commercials. And, nowadays, hey, Yeah, I've been watching a lot of, been with all the health things going on, and the cold weather lately like that. And I'll watch something and I'll binge watch. And, but lately, you can figure out where I'm going with this, right? I started watching this woman. And I've seen her before, and I'd watched her before recently, maybe a year or two ago. And I'm old enough, well, like I said earlier, I could be her mother's age. Okay, her mother could be my age. And I'd watched her and I'm like, no, before, for whatever reason, I'd stop. And then more recently, how long now? Maybe a month or so. Something she said triggered me to watch more. Sorry, my allergies are going haywire here. So I started watching more, and then I got curious. I wanted to see. But while I did, one of the things I noticed was she's an awful lot like me. Just the attitude about certain things. Well, it just goes from there, because you can figure out there's something that at some point, right off the bat, bothered me. When I said, really started. And that wasn't anything like me. It was everything that I'm against. So, yeah, I'm not going to name them, but this person, she said she did some things that were what I was against, what I've mentioned in many videos in the past. I'm against that kind of behavior, that kind of mentality. But I said, I'm going to keep watching. And I'm glad I did. Whenever I get a chance, I'd watch a video of hers or something like that since then. And then I saw it. The one thing I have mentioned that I just said, that I mentioned over I don't know how many years, that is rather unique about me. It's not the health condition, but it could be due to. She said that about her. And that's when those spidey senses, I like that term. I'm not much on these kind of things, using them, but spidey senses I like. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And it gave me the heebie-jeebies, that kind of thing. Then, combine it all together, she did one thing that I really dislike about people. Which would say her character is not that great. And people whose character is not that great, they don't have problems stealing things from other people. You see what I'm saying? Something unique, because they want to be thought of as unique. And when I look at her now, and more and more I've watched her videos, like I said, I really don't know how long it's been. I really don't. But I don't sit there and write these things down. I've got so much going on. I don't write everything down. Like Kat said, I don't even remember. Was it December and end of December, early June? January. What am I talking about, June? Or was it end of January, beginning of February, when I had that hypothermia several times? Yeah. So anyway. But anyway, it started to bother me. So not another one. The type of person who just steals something about you, your personality. The different form of identity theft. It's not about taking your social security number or whatever. It's just stealing something about who you are. But just look at it. It did something despicable. And like I said, the things I'm against, they are people, what despicable person would do. Very self-centered thing. That totally dislike that type. And then, often plays the victim when it doesn't really look like you're being the victim. You know, that kind of thing. You sit there, because, you know, you're just getting snapshots online. You're just getting snapshots of who the person is. But if you go back and you watch them, you're going to probably find something you don't like about them. None of us are perfect. We know this. None of us are perfect. I've got things about me. But if it's something that is so despicable to you, big red flag. Big red flags waving all around. And then this is what I've found, you know, about her. And I see it. I'm not watching a whole lot of people anymore. I used to, especially in 2020, because, you know, my rare health condition. I was one of those more vulnerable, and I had to stay at home. 2020 and 2021, and much of 2021, and that was something, man. But you know, and since then I've had on and off health issues. Like the past 3 days, I was not going out because it was very cold. We had you know, below, you know, in the negative heat indexes. Feels like in the negatives, and with me having had experienced hypothermia, and it was horrible, you know, horrible. Worst I've ever felt in my life. Several times. Not doing it again. No thank you. So I've been home again, and I'm, you know, being home, I watch TV. You know, I have other projects I do. Like I said, 4 now. Daily planners, yeah, 4. Those other 3, yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm just sitting there watching TV all day, but, you know, sometimes, like, it was really rough on me these cold days, even with the heater on and everything. It was hard on me, on my body. It really was. Wrapped up, blankets, whatever. It's still, I'll feel it. Deep in my bones, you know. But anyway, so this is another thing, and this is one of those, you know, I was talking about mysteries. Some people want to know, who would that be, really? Okay, I mean, to me, I probably would be. I like to figure things out. You know, I could say I like a good mystery. You know, if somebody was saying somebody's copycatting, back in 2020 when I, you know, had to stay at home, you know, in 2021, I watched a lot, I think, back then, and I probably knew who was doing what to whom. You know, some of them, they're smaller communities than you think. You know, it'll recommend people who are close or somehow, some way, that, you know, it figures it out. This is what we want to do. You know, clump these people together. They have a similar theme, whatever. I just saw today on somebody's, the AI had written a description on a video of somebody's. I looked at one of mine without being logged in, and it didn't do it for me. I've been around for over 10 years now, so I thought that was interesting. But anyway, it clumps people together. So, but in this one, yeah, how far can somebody go? But one of the things I was going to mention, okay, I hope you don't hit me. I hope you don't hit me. Amazon trucks, and there's somebody parked there, so it had to kind of squeeze between us. But anyway, I was talking about the mystery and everything. Some people might try to figure it out. I would be that kind. I don't know, because see, sometimes I don't get into other people's business, you know. So I don't know. I never really had to know if I would go and search it out. Maybe, yeah, I'd say maybe. But like I said, I don't read like other people's. I generally don't. Over 10 years, I have hardly ever read comments on somebody's video. It's so seldom. You might as well even say I don't do it, because that's their business. You know, business. We gotta say business. Their business. So, but yeah, maybe I would. You know, there have been little, over all these 10 years, that guy is wearing a sleeveless shirt. The Amazon guy. Just last night we were in the negatives. not well, the feels like was. So, and today he's wearing shorts and no sleeve shirt. And here's the funny thing. He's passing by me right now. He's wearing shorts, sleeveless shirt, and he's wearing one of those hats on his head. The winter caps or whatever they are, you know. What do they call those? There's a name for it. I've never been one to wear them, though. Adam does, but I don't wear them. Anyway, you know, it's a knit hat. Yes, he's making a fashion statement. Texas, you gotta love it. Oh, really, I'm Texan, you know. But that pretty much makes the statement right there. It's so true. Sorry, that just tickled me too much. But hey, you know. Okay, anyway. But yeah, I really want to say more about this. I don't know, I might not, you know. But it just kind of irks me. You know, why can't people be themselves? What is wrong with being yourself? Okay, I've already stated why. I found them to be the most boring people. And yet they think, the people who are these histrionic kind, yet they think their lives are so wonderful, so interesting. And they're not. They are not interesting. But they think so. And if you try to talk about your life, which may be interesting, something very interesting happened to you, they will cut you off. They will try to get in the middle of it. They'll try and turn around on themselves. You know, they have to have that attention. So you could have had, like me, I don't mention the things that I've done, and wow, if I did. But no, I've had a very interesting life. I'm going to say that with all, okay, it's getting a little busy right here all of a sudden. But yeah, it is. Alrighty, you want to come by and stare at me? You should, because I'm curious who you are, too. It was one of the neighbors. Woo. But no, I've had a very interesting life. Very. Enough said on that. I don't want to give too much out because, you know, there's copycats that'll steal it and make it their own. Yeah. Oh, dear, it's a kitty cat. Okay, it's getting busy. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.